Okay, Mr. Mason, let's get into our review of today's lesson. We had the full G shape, of course, practicing the one finger switch to the E minor 7. And you did such a great job with every single string resonating. I was really proud of you. Just make sure you're checking that at home and pushing really hard. It's gonna hurt. It's still gonna hurt until you can get through that hump. So if you practiced every day for at least 15 minutes, and I mean 15 minutes consecutively, of just holding your fingers down on the guitar as best as you can, and just switching back and forth, doing something like this, just holding it down for at least a minute at a time. A minute to 2 would be ideal. Okay, and then you switch from so that was the one finger switch that you practice back and forth. Then you do the 2-finger switch, G to E minor 7, G to C at 9, sorry, my bad. G to C at 9, G to C at 9. And make sure from that C at 9 you play from the 5th string down. Okay? And then from the G to the D chord as well. So that one's also 5 strings. G is all 6, E minor 7 is all 6, but C at 9 and D are 5. So from the G to the D, remember, we want to do the same exact kind of maneuvering over and over. So you got your G, middle finger goes first to the 1st string, ring index comes next on the 3rd string, and then pinky is off. So to go back, you'll add your pinky first, then the middle finger, and then the index. So it doesn't matter which one you migrate first from there, just as long as you stay consistent every single time. So if it's index finger then middle, do that every single time. Index middle, then when you're there, index middle, every single time. And then from here, every single time you'll do middle finger first, then index, then pinky last, then pinky first, middle index, or pinky first, index middle, whichever one you prefer. But practice that over and over again just to get that familiar with it, and practice it with the strum pattern. So now you're going to have some delays, but try your best to not delay. Ultimately, you will be able to switch easily, but try your best to aim for that. So when you're doing the down, down, up, remember, we're using the back of our nails going down and the back of our nail going up of the thumb. Now you can do the skin of the thumb going down and the skin of the index going up, but you don't want to do like thumb, thumb like that, because you're doing the back of the nail when you're going up and it gives it a different tone. So you either do skin, skin, or you do nail, nail, like that. Okay? So for the down, down, up, down, you'll switch that E minor 7. Take your time. Just make sure you're accurate. Okay? It's better to be accurate than fumble through it when it's messing up. So down, down, up, down, then you'll switch it back to the G. How you want it to sound without any hesitation, right? So then when you feel comfortable with just the 1-finger switch, move on to the G to the C at 9. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to keep working on that G to E minor 7, but if not, then let's continue on to the G to C at 9 now. So this one, the 2-finger switch, it doesn't matter which one you go first on this one, just as long as you make sure you're down 1, then up 1, and not interchanging or both of them on the same string. You just want to make sure that you're moving equidistant from the 6th and 5th string to the 5th and 4th string. Okay, and you'll strum all 6 strings for the G, 5 strings for the C at 9. So it'll sound something like this. Then you switch down 1, down 1. Switch up 1, up 1. Go ahead and pause the video, of course, if you need to. But when you feel comfortable with that, let's move on to the D chord. So that one will take probably the most time of switching back and forth from. It does take a minute to get that comfortable with the muscle memory. Okay, so again, you're switching from the G, middle finger first, index finger next, pinky off. Then back to the G, you add pinky first, and one of these will go first, whichever one you prefer. Okay, so let's try practicing that from the G. So you'll go down, down, up, down, switch the middle, switch the index, take off the pinky. 5 strings, down, down, switching back, add the pinkies, move the middle to the index, being on the 3rd and the 2nd fret, like that. Strum all 6. Up, down, switch back to the D, middle first, index next, pinky last. Add pinky, switch middle, add index, all 6. Get through all those nice little spots, and then when you're feeling comfortable with all those changes, and don't forget to also practice like not just those, like not just G to E minor 7, G to C add 9, G to D, but also practice D to E or D to C add 9, D to E minor 7, because in Wagon Wheel you've got G to D, then D to E minor 7, then E minor 7 to C add 9, and then back to G to D to C add 9 twice. So you also want to practice that D to C add 9, D to E minor 7, okay? And then E minor to C add 9, just for the sake of doing that as well. Okay, so work on that, and if you feel confident, go ahead and work on the Wagon Wheel, which is, like I said, the exact same chords in the exact same order with the exact same strum pattern throughout the entire song. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus. The bridge is just 1 strum each, so that's actually quite simple. So if you can get used to this switching of the G to the D to E minor 7, C add 9, G to D to C add 9 twice, and do that over, you don't even have to strum it, just get familiar with that switch going G, D, E minor 7, C add 9, G, D, C add 9 twice, G, D, E minor 7, C add 9, G, D, C add 9 twice, G, you know, just get a little bit more familiar with it before you make the attempt of trying to strum along with it. So here's the strum pattern for it, so you can hear how it's supposed to sound, and I'll go fairly slow so you can really hear it and notice it. And down, down, up, down, 1, 2, ready, go. Over and over. G, D, minor 7, C add 9, G, D, C add 9 twice, G, D, minor 7, C add 9, G, D, C add 9 twice. Okay, so work on that as best as you can, and then I will see you next week to put all of that together and see how we do. All right, great job today, Mason, as always. I'll see you next week. Bye!